This week in the story, David is anointed the new king over Israel. There's just one problem. David hasn't been invited to the party. Samuel shows up at Jesse's house and he says, "We're going to make a sacrifice to God. Bring your sons in." Jesse knows that something special is going to happen here. So he gets everything ready and he parades all of his sons one by one in front of Samuel. That is, all except David. David's out watching the sheep. I'm not sure if Jesse just was embarrassed by the boy or what, but he's not invited to the party. Well, they get all done and Samuel says, "Is that all you got?" Almost reluctantly, you have Jesse go, "Well, I got one more boy, but he's out watching the sheep." Samuel says, "Well, you better get him in here." You see, it all goes back to what God had said to Samuel earlier. When Samuel saw Jesse's first son, he thought, this is the next king. But God reminded him. He says, people look on the outside. But God, He looks at the heart. So it was with David. On the outside, he was just a young, scrawny kid. Didn't look like a king. But God saw his heart. Throughout the story, it's referred to David as a man who was after God's own heart. You see, the fact of the matter is, if you've got a heart for God, God will prepare you for whatever He has in mind. The same is true for you. If you've got a heart for God, then God will prepare you for whatever He wants you to do. No matter whether you think you have the qualifications or you have the skill set, because it's not really what's going on the outside. It's what's going on the inside. So I wonder this week if you'd ask yourself, has God been preparing you for something, even if you didn't know it? It all comes back to your heart. Do you have a heart for God?